You are watching On the Move with Lady Kate, brought to you by Afro USA TV. I am so excited, and today we have a great guest on the show. You won't believe it. Our very own celebrity artist from Cameroon. We have Mami Bakala, Askia, as well as Bah'Ndong. These are great artists. Yes. Please welcome them. Yes. Askia, how are you? Thank you for joining us all the way from Cameroon.
Hello, Lady Kate. I'm very well. I hope you are too.
Thank you. And Bah'Ndong?
Yes, I.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Lady Kate. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, making the time to join us. And we also have the director of BGC Melodies. That's Don Julio himself. How are you?
Doing good, as always, Every time with Lady Kate is always a great time.
That's wonderful. I'm so honored to have you all. It's all about Cameroonian music. So meeting with our artists and getting to know them, and also promoting our holiday party that's coming up. I am so excited. Y'all show me your excitement.
Thank
you.
That's what we're talking about.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Amen. Yeah, we're putting Cameroon on the map. So, Askia, I'm going to start with you. Please tell us about yourself, a little background. How did you get into music? And you are a rap artist as well. Tell us about that.
Okay. My names are Cameroon Askia Sako Orinji. That is my birth name, my real name in my documents.
Yes.
And I'm in a family of two. My dad, my sister, me. My mom left the country a long time ago and she lives in Germany. And then I was in a boarding school, that's PGSS Limbe, Presbyterian Girls Secondary School.
Oh,
so
wow.
How I started writing lyrics, I think that it was a means of me getting in touch with my emotions, my feelings, things that happened to me in my life. And then I got used to writing down every little thing that happens every day. So I started off by just writing down my feelings, because I had like a very lonely childhood. I don't have a history of friends, like a big family of people, that. So I always had to write back my feelings, my thoughts to myself so that I can read them later. And that's how I started putting down lyrics, like making music. First of all, my sister, she sings amazingly. So it's always been me and her all my life. So to me, it was really a thing about just pleasing my sister because she loves singing. In her school, she sang in a choir, so I looked up to her a lot. So I'll always record myself trying to sing to be like her, and then I'll have her listen so she can tell me if she likes it or not, From time to time, I'll bring back something and she'll listen and be like, oh, it's cool, And then as I was used to writing down my emotions, my feelings, just talking back to myself. And then one day I was in the studio. I was all really so tiny. And then I was in the studio that day. Some guys were recording, some big guys were in the studio. I used to just hang around the studio because I was hoping for the DJs to be like, Askia, take this beat and drop something on it. Let's hear you do something. So I'm always around the studio. And then that day, some boys were in the studio and they had written something, their lyrics, and they didn't really enjoy it. So they just crumbled the paper and threw in the trash bin. So after they were gone, I picked out the piece of paper and I asked the DJ, I said, can I try? He said, yes, go ahead and try. So I listened to what they were trying to do that they really didn't enjoy. So after they had left, I tried doing it back and then I recorded it and brought it home to my sister. I always bring back recorded stuff to her to see her expression. This time I brought the rap to her and then she played it and listened to it and then she just cried. And since then, it's been me writing down my emotions, spitting them out, talking to myself. I think that's how I really got into rapping. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. Yep, very interesting journey for you. Bah'Ndong, what about you? What got you into music? Where did you grow up? What is your real name? Tell us about Bah'Ndong.
Well, actually, Bandung is actually the name is very recent. The name came with just BGC Melody. That's about 2018. But
Right.
before that, there was this Bandung who started like grew up first of all in a family that was so much used to music. Like we're kind of like music was really like incorporated in our everyday lives, and we had like a mixture of all kinds of genres of music. So growing up, like for example in Cameroon, the first 26 years of my life you have the Bikusis, the Zaiko Langa Langas, and all the rest. And then we always had, like, of course, the other brother, like when he goes to the States, come back with Fuji's or Michael Jackson, or, we had Thriller back then, or Sound of Music, the movie. So with all those influences mixed, I kind of like incorporated that and then took it to another step. But I wouldn't lie that for the hip hop part of me, I had this other brother of mine, or I have this other brother of mine called Jerome, who used to be a very good lyricist back then. And I just so happen to have been doing his ad libs sometimes when he's on stage or, watch him dance and all. So I knew kind of like his rhymes. Then I found myself around the age of maybe 7 writing my first rhyme called Mission to Boston. I don't know why I called it Mission to Boston. But yeah, it was like a rhyme of about 12 lines. And so from there, like, I started spinning my own stuff, but finally came to a professional part of it, like semi-professional, I would say. When I left boarding school, when I left St. Augustine, that was in 2001. I came to the government bilingual primary school in Essos in Yaoundé, and then I formed this group Camp Select together with 2 of my friends, which we later on added a fourth friend. And with Camp Select, we did a lot of shows. Mm-hmm. And actually represented kind of like the Anglophones when it had to do with hip hop, because sometimes artists would come from abroad and they had no real hip hop Anglophone group to be on the stage to say like there is something going on Anglophone. So we always had to be on stage. They used to seize us from Boya back then. I remember we missed our exams. I know my mom doesn't know this, that means. So we used to miss our exams actually just to be on stage, representing Cameroon hip hop.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how the music went on. Then left, went to Germany. 2013, started a band with some friends of mine called Madhouse Matadors. We did that for 1 year, pulled out a little demo of 3 tracks, but we had like 29 tracks all. And from there I left, went solo, pulled out my first album, Revelations 101. Mm-hmm. On SoundCloud, and then BGC Melody was like, all right, I think I see where you're going to, so come join the crew. And then came Revelations 2.1, and then now we're on Revelations 33, Volume 1.
Wow. Amazing. That's amazing. Congratulations. Both of you are just excelling in your music career. And we have BGC Melody Director, Don Julio. Please, how are things in Cameroon? I know you're in there, you're on the ground, you're trying to promote the best of the best in Cameroon. How's that going?
Well, it's a little bit tough. 2020 has not been a good year for artists anywhere in the world. Mm-hmm. If you see, I was just talking with Bah'Ndong yesterday, the paradox of the fact that Africa is going to get pretty much some of the best shows of some of the greatest artists, mm-hmm. That Africa has in the diaspora. They're all going back to Africa this year. Why? Because they can't even do shows in Europe, mm-hmm. because Europe is all on lockdown. That's how my young cousin Taiki, who's a really, really, really good artist, in France, is pretty much the top R&B artist now. He's going back single. All the big, metric games and everything, they're going back, to Africa for the holidays because it's just been tough. So that's even going to make competition even worse. Already 2020 was a bad year because you couldn't have a lot of shows, especially for artists who depend on getting on stage, right? To make money. Now they'll have to be competing with all these big stars coming back and taking the stage. Mm-hmm. So they can't even save money. So I'm looking at people like Mami Bakala, and the rest. I'm just going like, yeah, it's really tough here. But luckily, I've had a program for all my artists. I've told all of them, your first 3 years, if you're worried, then you shouldn't be with BGC because, we're trying to build this thing the right way. My first 2 years is, is basically production, right? We want to make sure that they get into studio, get, good singles, but get albums. Singles should not become your norm. Singles should be like the shopping window to an album, so I want to make sure that they all have albums of quality, good music, and then you use the singles out of the album, every 3 months, every 4 months, do a video, in order to invite people to see your body of work. And then most important thing with an album is that, I want that 2021, when COVID is over, they can be on tour. I want to be able to send an artist to Japan, and, a band in Japan is looking at, at them, go on Spotify and say, oh, she's got, 18 songs. Oh, he's got 30 songs. So yeah, we can pick 8, 12 great songs out of this, put a band on it, and get them on stage and make money. So that's the way it is. So we didn't waste 2020. It was a tough year, but we said, just like they say, when, times are tough, you go into the farm and, you work. So that when, harvesting season comes, at least you have something to produce. And my artists they've been patient, and I usually tell them, look, if I'm sweating and at least investing the money, I don't want you to be worried about, oh, but this artist just had a show in Douala and so on, and so on. Well, maybe they got 20,000, maybe they get 50,000. I'm hoping for a time when you'll be getting at least 2 million, 3 million, from one show, and it takes time, but you have to be patient, So it's been tough, but systematically we're going. The fact that, Mami Bakala at least is sitting with us, on the same show and doing it means that we've gotten somewhere,
That's
maybe
right.
we'll have Beyonce, who knows?
Thank you so much, because we also want to acknowledge that technology has really changed the game, and that's why we're able to be here with Bah'Ndong, Mami Bakala. That's because technology has made it possible. So this, we're heading for more greatness. But I just want to thank you for your, getting in there and investing in great talents in Cameroon. So BGC all the way. Askia, I know you are managed by, you just recently changed management, right?
Yes, I did.
Right.
I did recently change management.
How's that going?
Well, I would say it's going very, very fine, because when I it's a whole lot. When I left Alphabeta Records, I went all that time without any manager at all. So it was basically me making decisions for myself. And deciding what was best for my career.
That's very good, Askia. The baby is calling. Let's just use this opportunity to congratulate Askia, for your wedding and your baby.
Nairobi, baby Nairobi.
Yes, things have
my name
really.
is Nairobi, yes.
Congratulations.
Baby Nairobi,
Thank you.
right? Nairobi.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Congratulations.
What does Nairobi mean?
Thank you. Well, Nairobi means cool, calm water. That's what it means, We had to really look for a name that has a meaning that I am attached to.
Yeah.
So when I saw the name Nairobi and its meaning, it was it for me. Again, the name Nairobi itself, without the meaning, has that X factor, but for me, it was the name and the meaning. It was just it.
Okay.
There was no way I was not picking that name. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And we are live on the move with Lady Kate. We welcome baby Nairobi.
Nairobi.
Thank you.
So Askia, I know you've had a very difficult journey in life, and we're very proud of you that you were able to really turn things around and become the great person that God wants you to be. Your music is impacting the world, and just changing your life around is a great inspiration, and I think that we need to share your story. There's a reason why I asked you to join us for the holiday party, because children have been hurt in the region of Cameroon, right? We had the recent incident in Kumba, and we came together and said we're going to help. We're going to add our voices to the call for peace. Your latest song is so deep. I don't dance to
Yes,
it.
so.
I listen to it when I'm driving. It is so good.
Okay.
All we want to do is get an opportunity to talk. You know, um, you know,
Yeah.
wherever there's an opportunity to talk, so we can have some peace. That's really what
Okay.
we need. So we are raising funds for children in regions that are experiencing a violent conflict like Kumba, the Anglophone areas in Cameroon, where children have been victims. There was a massacre October 24th, right? And your song really fits into place. And so is Bah'Ndong, who is also an activist for peace, right? Yes, you were one of the organizers for the peace rally in Yaoundé. Can you give us a little bit about your involvement in that?
Yeah, actually, so we had this colleague of ours, Malox. I just saw that he had put out a press release that he was like looking forward to a gathering of artists, coming for the commemoration, kind of like the memoir of the kids who died in Kumba. And that is one of my main aims when I was coming down here was to try to get a solution, to everything happening with the unrest going on. And it felt good. So I thought like, okay, this is an opportunity to be able to speak my mind out, at least with all the other artists, because our position had always been on peace. But the problem is, like I had a delegation who met me in Germany, and they were like, all right, you artists have to look for a solution. And I told them my solution was probably maybe what was not in line with whatever the country had expected then. So we artists decided that, all right, we have to sit among ourselves to check out, all right, we want peace. But the problem is how go about the peace? Even inside the peace, what are we proposing as solution, even though we want the peace? Mm-hmm. So like with the gathering now, I just had to correct exactly the narrative that was going on there, because everybody was screaming, we want peace, we want peace. And I told them, when you say want, that means it's like kind of an ostentation kind of stuff. We need peace, which is a basic something for everybody in the country, especially when you have a country who goes with the peace, work, fatherland as motto, and one is lacking, then it cannot be termed a country anymore. So that was the most important thing I could do there, just to change the narrative and make sure that people reclamated back their need and not just a want.
Yeah, that was very powerful. I listened to your message. I watched the videos, all the artists that spoke very powerfully, and you stating that peace is necessary. We need it. It's not a want, so it's something that we really need. And, look at Nigeria, for example, the SARS unrest. The artists really came out and they were frontline, advocating for change. And so to see that our Cameroonian artists are also getting together and pushing and calling for peace is really, it was very touching, really touched my heart. And so thank you for that effort. Now we are looking forward to the holiday party. We're looking forward to having both of you as our guest artists. And we thank you for what you're doing. So please say a word out there to your fans, reach out to them and let them know to join us. Yeah. What do you have to say?
Askia, you go first.
I just want to say that these kids that were just murdered recently, they didn't do anything. They just wanted to go to school. If you can want to go to school and people come in your school and kill you like that in your school, they didn't deserve to die. Talk less of dying like that. If they had to die like that for doing nothing, it means the people that are really doing something, how are they going to die? So I feel like the ones that are alive, that have been through that and are survivors, they are scarred for life. They are scarred forever. It's not going to be any better for them because they are still alive. No. Instead, they are going to have it twice as painful. Just being alive, to have those memories, the things that they saw, or the things that they were through that day. It's really painful. So I feel like if there's anyone out there that is watching that has a way to help, no amount is too small. You can give what you have. It's okay for us. I am going to give what I can afford. I don't have much myself, because I'm trying. I'm very happy to be alive at this moment. So if I can bless another person, just in a little way, I'll do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Askia. That's very beautiful. Thanks for your message and appeal. And that's why we're doing this, so that this is the Christmas period when we really, this is a time of giving, and the holidays is a time of giving. We're celebrating festivities, but we want to also think about the children that survived, the massacre, and having to live with the pain. Like you said, those who died, they died and they're gone. Their families are grieving, but those who also survive have to live with this pain and the trauma for a very long time in their lives. They will never forget. You are a survivor of such, similar violence. So, and you speaking of that, you're speaking from a point of someone who has experienced it and how it has really, kind of impacted your life in so many ways. You're struggling with it and dealing with it. So we thank you so much, and we're appealing that the community will join us for the Miss Africa USA holiday party and give what they can so that we can make a difference in the lives of these children. We are trying to also offer some mental health wellness, some counseling to the survivors of this violence that took place. So thank you. We're just gonna close right now, and hopefully pray that a lot of people will join us next Saturday at 2 p.m., to contribute, to fellowship, to party with a purpose of raising funds to support children in conflict regions. Don Julio, did you have something to say?
No, I just want to thank both artists for stepping up, especially at the moment when it's not easy. Many people are always second guessed. You try to do something. Why didn't you do it this way? Why didn't you join this other group? Why didn't you go over there? What I always say is do something. Instead of criticizing others, do something. And I'm just very happy that, Bah'Ndong, on his own, this was not directed by the label. He's stepping out and doing his thing, and then Mami Bakala, accepting to be the face of this, because I understand well that you will want her to be part of the team that goes to Kumba to deliver this stuff to the children. I think that, it's going to be great for these children, many of them, to just see one of their stars, their icons there, with them, spending time and saying, look, I've gone through trauma too, and I know what you're feeling, so I'm very proud of everybody who's here. Lady Kate, I can't thank you enough for always, thinking, about occasions like this that make people, bring the best out of themselves. And I'm always very, very grateful when you try to involve me in this. BGC is going to step into this really strong, during the days, not all in terms of promotion, but in terms of, our donations, and we stand ready, to participate and to do whatever, you need, at our own level, to make this work out. And I'm sure that our kids in Kumba and around and their families and so on, they're going to have, a pretty good holiday party. Yes.
Thank you so much. Afro USA would like to thank all our artists, Bah'Ndong and Askia, for joining this effort and for being the face of Protect Our Kids. That's the hashtag. Please tell your fans, protect our kids. Thank you so much. Yes, we want to bless you, and we're looking forward to working with you, not only for this project, but also more to come in the future. So thank you and stay blessed. We look forward to partying with you next weekend. Stay tuned, everyone, and keep watching. Yes, Afro USA TV.
Just in time. Let's talk just in time with the baddest and Mami Bakala.
Oh, yes, Mami Bakala and the baddest. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here in my corner, watching and not believing. Too many people dying for the wrong reasons. Too many homes broken, too many souls taken. Too many long talks, people die when they're still grieving. I just saw you, we had a talk. We had a talk about everything that was going on. I made a promise to you that I was gonna make it. Now that you're gone in your eyes, man, I never made it. Shit, people invested their lives in this place. Hard work, blood, tears coming down their face. This was the place everybody came to relax.
Ce soir on va déranger. Le corps n'a pris un an ou kidnappé. Mais n'est pas encore enjaillé. Tu veux, tu ne veux pas, moi là tu vas enjoy. Mais y'a pas la son mec, mais n'est pas t'ayé pour break.